right. Well, let's get to it. Can everyone see the slides okay? Okay, great. All right. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me on this lovely Thursday afternoon to learn more about the MSP Wellness Champion Designation Program. So happy you're here and interested in learning more. My name is Frances Huntley. I am the Strategic Partnership Program Manager at the Minneapolis Regional Chamber. I lead the MSP Wellness Program, which I'll talk just briefly about, and then we'll get right to the Champion Program. Here's just a quick look at what we'll talk about today. I don't think we'll go much longer than 20 minutes, so just to set those expectations. As I said, we'll talk about the initiative as a whole, then we'll go into this program, why you should apply, who should apply, and then we'll get into the application itself a little bit and just go through the components. There will definitely be time for questions at the end, so please ask them. That's really why we're doing these information sessions, to give everyone a chance to ask questions before you fill out the application. So you can put them in the chat or just ask them out loud when we get to that time. So for those of you who may be new to us, MSP Wellness is a partnership between the Minneapolis Regional Chamber, the Hennepin County and Minneapolis Health Departments, and health partners. We're all working together to provide tools, resources, and programming for employers to help them support employee wellness and cultivate a culture of health and well-being in the workplace. In addition to this Champion Designation Program, we also administer another program within the MSP Wellness Initiative. That is the Minneapolis Micro Grant Program, where we work with the city to administer grants from the Minnesota Statewide Health Improvement Program, SHIP, to businesses in Minneapolis to implement projects focused on changing workplace policies, systems, and environments. These microgrants are really designed to be a catalyst for organizations who are just starting on their workplace wellness journey. And this year we have a great group of 12 organizations doing that work, and we'll open those applications back up in January of next year if anyone interested, or a small business who may need those resources. Please feel free to pass that along. It can be found at mspwellness.com. And just a brief moment to really ground us in why this work is important and why the Chamber prioritizes this work, especially, in this moment of time. Employee wellness is really a paramount concern for organizations when you think about talent attraction and retention, which we know has been top of mind for folks in the last several years. And new research continues to come out that demonstrates how significant this is to organizational health, the overall well-being of all people and communities, and of course, your operational efficiency and bottom line. So we're in this working with businesses across the region and scaling the MSP Wellness Initiative so that we can serve as a resource to anyone, no matter where you are with your journey. So now to the Champion Designation Program. This program was created by the Chamber and by the Hennepin County Public Health Department to recognize and celebrate organizations who work to positively affect the health and well-being of their employees and communities through workplace wellness programs. So it's pretty self-explanatory, I think, the value of being an MSP Wellness Champion, but there's a few specific perks that I'll go through real quick, just in case you're not already convinced. If you qualify, you'll receive a digital logo for digital branding and promotion, on your website, social media, etc. And then you'll also get a little window playing for your work site that says MSP Wellness Champion. The Chamber will recognize qualifying champions in our celebration event in November, but also throughout the year through our channels. And one thing that may not be obvious is that this application alone is really a great resource to reference when you think about how you can improve your employee wellness program and continue on this journey as an organization. Many of these criteria were originally developed by the Hennepin County public health experts, and these are really tangible best practices that you can reference and work towards, which I actually think, is a type of resources that isn't widely available for folks right now. So we're really working to create more of that through MSP Wellness. Here's a quick look at the champion organizations. We had 36 qualifying organizations last year in the program's first year as the Chamber program, and they were a great mix of industries, locations across the state of Minnesota, and sizes. In fact, many of them had less than 100 employees, and they scored really well on the application. In terms of eligibility, the only requirements are that you are in Minnesota and you have at least 10 employees. In order to actually qualify and meet the requirements, however, you will need to have an employee wellness program of some sort and be doing a variety of different efforts in supporting employee well-being. We'll dig into the application sections and criteria in just a moment here. And then just a quick word about submitting the application itself. Be sure to apply before September to be a part of the celebration event in November. You'll apply at this link, mspWellness.com/champions, or just go to mspWellness.com and click champions on the menu. On that page, you can review the entire application as a PDF before you begin. You can see the scoring rubric document. And then when you're ready to complete the application, you'll click apply, and you'll complete the application through our technology provider startup space. You can always email me if you have any questions or issues with the technology. I'm happy to help with that. So let's dig into the application itself. It's organized in 5 main sections: foundational elements, assessment and evaluation, policies, practices, and programs and employee engagement. In all of the sections, the questions are these checkbox questions. As you can see in this image, you're presented with a list of elements that your organization may have, and then you'll check the boxes for the elements that you do have. In each section, the number of points per checkbox is a little different, and the number of points required varies as well. So again, reference that scoring document if you want to know more about that. And this year we have added a lot of new criteria within all of these sections that focus on health equity and ensuring that your wellness programs are inclusive and working for all of your employees based on diversity and equity best practices. So you'll notice that if you applied last year, a little bit different this year. And then another addition is that we have 3 levels of championship, if you will, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star champions. We will designate the 2023 champions according to their star level at our celebration event in November, and we'll provide you with your star logo if you qualify, as well as a plain, champion logo. So you can promote your level if you'd like, or you can choose not to. So in the first section, foundational elements, this is really what we view as the foundational elements of a wellness program. And champions will almost always end up having the majority of these. These elements are about leadership support of wellness programs and really embedding wellness in the organizational structure and culture. And in order to be a 4- or 5-star champion, you'll need to have checked 15 of these elements in this section out of 21 total available, with some required elements that are outlined in the application itself and in the scoring document. Next is the assessment and evaluation section. These are about how you measure engagement, participation, success of your wellness and well-being programs. These are a couple of examples from the application of options from that section. Again, there is a minimum point requirement for each champion level in this section. The next section is policies and procedures. This is self-explanatory. How are you embedding your wellness program into your formal policies and procedures to further, solidify them as part of your organizational structure? And then we have the practices section. This is broken up into 5 different sections: physical activity, healthy eating, commercial tobacco cessation, stress management and well-being, And this is how your environment and organizational system supports these various components of wellness and well-being. And finally, we have a program section, which is 2 questions. One is about how you deliver health education programming to employees, and another about which topics you cover. I believe there's a minimum of 3 different methods that are required and 5 different topics required to be a 4 or 5-star champion. And I should mention, to be a 3-star champion, there's just a minimum total points requirement and no other specific requirements within each section of the application. So we're almost at the end here. Just a couple of quick last words. The first is that if you do apply and you don't meet the minimum requirements, we'd love to connect with you if you'd like, to help, connect you to resources that can help you implement some of these things, connect you with our other programs and partners, or just discuss your application further. Always open to that. And the last thing is just to reiterate that we're planning this virtual celebration event in November. November 8th is the date we're holding, so feel free to mark your calendar for that. And also reach out if you are interested in partnering with us on that. We're in the early stages of planning. Last year's event was really great. We had a great keynote speaker. You can watch the recording at mspWellness.com if you're interested. So more to come on that later this summer. So that's it from me. Hopefully that was some helpful information that can sort of guide you as you apply for this designation. But does anyone have any specific questions that I can answer right now? Happy to go into, your your case if you'd like.
I'll go. I do have a question. We are based out of Chicago. We're a national organization, but we have certainly more than 20 employees here. So a lot of these efforts are organized out of our home office, out of our headquarters. So would they still, does that still count if it's not out of here?
Yeah, so the wellness program is actually sort of delivered over there, but the folks in Minnesota can access that programming, right? So yes, right. Absolutely still qualify if you have the physical location. And yeah, that's a great question though. Thank you. Thanks. Definitely want to be wary of the technicalities before you invest your time. I understand that. Ashley, you're with the Alzheimer's. Yes, great. We had a great conversation with a couple of your colleagues last week, Robert Freeman and Heidi, I want to say?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm happy you're here. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Yes.
I got on a little bit late, so I may have missed this at the beginning, but what is the current turnaround time after submitting your application for knowing whether or not you have achieved the designation?
Yeah, great question. I am holding myself to a 2-week deadline. So when you apply, I will get back to you within 2 weeks. Oftentimes it'll be quicker, but.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
I also jumped on a little late, so I also apologize. When does the application open?
It is open now.
It is open now. And okay, so we'll just go to the website and pick it up?
Yep, mspWellness.com.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And it'll stay open, even past this September 30th deadline that I mentioned. Hopefully folks can get to it before then so they can be a part of this celebration event. But if for some reason you can't, you can always apply for this program. Any others? Okay. Well, always here, my email address is up here, askhuntley@minneapolischamber.com, and that can be found at mspwellness.com as well. So Thanks so much for joining me today. If you know of any others who are interested in this program, I'll do additional information sessions in July, August, and September. So plenty more opportunities to learn about this. And as I said, this session was recorded, so I'll share that as well if you want to pass this information along. Thanks again. I look forward to seeing everyone's applications, and have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.